Hey, what is up, guys? So this is going to be a bit more of a longer video than what I usually do, because I haven't actually done any of these deck profile things in a while, so I'm going to go into a bit more of a reasoning of why I played what I played. So I went to the Huddersfield OTS Championship. This is a store called Gemini Games. I used to go there quite a lot, but unfortunately, due to work and other commitments, I haven't been able to go there as often. You know this as well as I, Rob. The amount of times that I promised to go there and I just never end up going. But we decided to go to their OTS Championship with Salamangreat. We're too poor to own the best fire deck, so we decided to play second best fire deck. It went alright. We had 5 rounds in all. I only lost one of them, and it was to Rika, which is weird because, well, the other reason I think it's weird is because we had I had 3 rounds of Rika. 2 of them were a bit okay. The one that I ended up losing was just bad hands. Game 1, he opens up nothing, goes Loci pass. I make a Sunlight Wolf pass, and because I drop 1 hand trap, he goes Talents, draw 2, and then just draws the field spell plus extender. So yeah, that was great. Game 2, we actually won just by doing standard Salad thing. Game 3, I open up Dark Ruler and 1 hand trap, which doesn't do anything to his board. He just makes full board with the field spell that tributes my stuff for cost, the one that negates in the graveyard, as well as other stuff. So yeah, we weren't going to win that one. Every other matchup actually was kind of fine. We had a matchup against, well, as I said, with the other Rika ones, one just bricked, so it was 3 wins. The other one, we went into time, which, funny thing, the Salamangreat field spell makes you gain life points in time. So when he got to 10k, we just went, during my turn, we attacked with the Raging Phoenix and then used the field spell to drop its attack to 0. And then next turn, we made another Raging Phoenix, used the field spell, drop its attack to 0. And yeah, that was one way to win in time. The other matchups weren't really anything. One was against Vanquished Soul, which he Tikabooed me, which sucked. So we had to link into the Heater and use the Foxy to pop the card so that we could start playing, which yeah, it is an option. You just have to link away a lot of your board to do it. And then the other matchup was against Dragon Link. Droll and Lockbird. Literally it. Didn't matter what else I was playing. It's the fact that I opened double Droll and Lockbird and he just could not do anything from there. So yeah, that's So yeah, that was really it. There's not really much detail to go into the matchups because it's Salad, so it does the same thing as most of the other fire decks. But I'm going to do a bit more detailed explanation of why I played what I played. So we played 3 Salamangreat of Fire. The reason why we play the Fire over anything else is because, yeah, Lady Debug is a good card and it can search other things. However, this is a Salad name. It searches a Salad on summon, and the effect to blow up a Salad in damage step does actually come up. The amount of times where my opponent's trying to run over things and just it's not ended well for them because we just banish and the thing gets blown up and they don't get the redeclaration. So yeah, that is the reason why we played that at 3. We play the 3 Gazelle. This is obligatory. So when it's summoned, it sends a Salamangreat card from deck to graveyard. It's important because it says card, not just monster. So it means that I can send the spells and traps. It's very rare that I will send the Salamangreat trap. I already have to have good things in hand. But it is still a good card. Getting the back row in there, you have to play 3 any less, and there's no point in really playing the deck. But that's all the 3 ofs. Then we play the 2 Salamangreat Foxy. It's Excavate 3 on summon. It's very rare that I will use the Excavate 3 effect. The second effect is to ditch a Salamangreat to summon it back from the grave. You can only do this if there's a spell or trap card that's face up on the field, so it does out a lot because the amount of times there I can just go pop Fountain because the summon back from grave and top is all one effect, so it's not like they can freezing curses it. As I said earlier, when I went up against the Vanquished Soul player, they went Tikaboo. I made the Heater and then revived us from grave to out the Tikaboo, so yeah, that works with that. Then we have the double spinny. I played 3 at one point. I've now cut it down to 2. I think 2's perfectly fine with the amount of searching that's already in the deck and the amount of ways to get it to the graveyard with Gazelle and that is perfectly fine. The effect to gain attack actually does come up because we play Violet Chimera in the extra deck, so we have used it to target our opponent's stuff, so Violet Chimera can do extra damage. But beyond that, it's fine how it is. Then we play the 1 Jack Jaguar. You don't need any more than this. Back in the day when you played Pot of Desires, it would have mattered a little bit more, but unfortunately, fortunate I actually say, since we've moved to more of a hand trap format, that's not really required as much. And then we play the 1 Weasel. You don't need any more than this. It's just free extending, and also it triggers Promethean Princess because it summons the thing to your opponent's field. So then it means that if my Sanctuary is gone, I still have access to ways to get to the Raging Phoenix without having to link away my entire board. And then we tested the 1 Mare. This actually does come up. I used to think this card was absolutely trash, but it special summons itself if it's added off a card effect. And I can also discard a Salad to summon this from hand, so it's like a really, really bootleg Diabell Star. If I already have like extenders and that in hand, I can just go normal fire, search this, special this, and then I can just start popping off before I make the Mirage Stelio. And also, if in later games I have had it where I just need to go circle for a free extender so that I can play around stuff. So this card is actually good. The only other Salad that I was thinking of playing in the main deck was potentially Falco. I just haven't been able to find the space for Falco. It's mainly for the extension aspect, not even its effect to block out back row is that useful. It might have come up once with the Riker thing, but as I said, the fact that they had the field spell that tributes my stuff just hurts my board anyway, so that kind of sucked. But that's it for all the Salad monsters. Then we play the 1 field spell. The effect to gain life points is really important with this. It does come up more than you think because of the whole fact that we're going into time more often. It does matter. I've learnt my lesson today because when I had the Riker match in round 5, there was 20 minutes left on the clock. I'm like, oh yeah, it's loads of time in the universe. Opponent takes 10 minutes to do his combo. I take 3 minutes to do mine. I completely forgot when I went into battle phase to activate the field spell to gain life. Thankfully, though, I'd outed his entire board, so then when it came back to mine and there was about a minute left on the clock, I couldn't do the damage for game, so I just attacked one of the things in defense, used the field spell to drop Raging Phoenix to 0, so that I would be on, I think it was 11,000 life. And then from there, I activated the Salamangreat Fire to blow it up so I wouldn't take any battle damage, and then time was called and I won. So yeah, the effect to gain life does actually matter with this. Then we played the Triple Circle. The second effect does come up. I keep forgetting this card actually has a second effect. So its first effect, obviously, it's standard up. It searches a Salamangreat card. Its second effect turns your Salads into towers if they're summoned using a card of the same name. So there have been a few times where I have used this so that I can play around Nibiru, because people still believe that you Nibiru Salad at the end of their turn and then that's how you win. And there have been times where I just leave this in hand and think, yeah, sure, nib me, I don't care. Then we play 2 Will of the Salamangreat. I prefer this at 2 because I want to see it in my opening hand. If I don't have extenders, but I don't want like 3 copies because obviously it's a once per turn effect. So this is a summon a Salad from hand or grave. Because it can summon the Salad from hand, it doesn't actually target, so your opponent has to deal with this because they don't know what Salad you're going to summon. Its second effect does come up because it is a Soul Charge, so you target a Salamangreat Link monster that was Link summoned using a name of itself, and then you summon any number of Salamangreat monsters from your graveyard in defense, equal to its rating. So it kind of does suck because it means you can't summon back your Salad Link monsters. But Soul Charge, that's all I'm going to say. It's just Soul Charge. If you have a Raging Phoenix in your extra, if you have a Raging Phoenix that is Link summoned off itself, and you pass it back to your turn, you just go Jack Jaguar, put it back, and then you have a Soul Charge for 4. And then finally we play 1 raid, 1 raw. We used to play 2 raw, but there's just not enough space. With the amount of hand traps that you need to play, you don't need any more. I have very rarely used its effect to reset itself from the grave, because usually games don't last that long. But it does come up. At the end of the day, because games only last a couple of turns, resetting it, you won't miss it when it's gone, because you have that many hand traps to play around stuff, and the rage is just great. Dependent on your matchup and how brave you feel, you can search this off the Raging Phoenix, and then it's just a free pot 4, and then from Promethean Princess is another pop, and then you just have to follow up with hand traps. So that's all the solid cards. A little bit of extension that we do play is 2 Signet Mining. I debated playing 3, but I'd rather have hand traps over that because we already have the 3 circle, we already have the Salamangreat Fire, we have so much searching in this deck. This is just extra searching. It comes up, but the only time that it came up today is we went signing, ditch Signet Mining, ditch basically random salad to just search Gazelle so that we have free extension. Then from there, because this format is so great, we just play so many hand traps. So we have the triple Ash Blossom, the triple Nibiru, the triple Droll and Lockbird, triple Effect Veiler, 2 Mourner, and 3 Imperm. This was beautiful. Nearly every game except for the one that I lost against Riker, we opened at least 2, sometimes 3 of these, and 3 of this with any starter is just basically amazing because most of the salad engine recurs itself. Like when you've got to the point of having a Sunlight Wolf, you're just adding back your resources that you've already used. Sunlight Wolf can also add the Ash back, which is great, so that if you ash your opponent once, you can do it again. All of this is just amazing. It does what it needs to do. I have contemplated playing Ghost Ogre for Tenpai matchups, but I try and cater it a bit more to the event that I'm going to. I was more shifting towards the ones that I was playing now because I was told that at Huddersfield there would be a lot of Invoked. Someone lied to me, so instead we were playing against lots of Riker, and that just sucked. So the hand traps do what they need to, basically. Would I play Ogre? Yes, I would play Ogre. Is there any other hand traps that I would want to play? Not really. We did contemplate at one point playing Bell, but based on the matchups that I had, I don't think it would have made a difference. Ogre might have made a difference in 1 or 2 matchups, but again, it just didn't really do all that much, so yeah. Hand traps are just hand traps. Then we have the triple Balinks. Please be a better duelist than me. I keep on putting this card back to the extra deck with Jack Jaguar for extension and then forgetting to make the Balinks again, so be a better player. Always make sure that you have a Balinks in the graveyard at the end of your turn. Searching Field Spell's great, because Field Spell gives me life points as well as it just lets me relink into stuff using Salamangreat names. The double Sunlight Wolf, we don't need 3 of this. I rarely go actually into the second one. Sometimes I have used the field spell to summon the wolf off the wolf, but that's just because I want to add the circle back from the graveyard as free stuff. But most of the time you can just get away with the 1. Then from there we play the 1 Heatleo. It's just to shuffle back some back row. To be honest, I didn't really notice this card in the deck that often. It does what it needs to, but at the end of the day, it's very rarely summoned. I am contemplating taking it out, but at the end of the day, I kind of do like it. If I was going to take it out, I'd take it out for a Nightmare Phoenix, I guess, so that if my opponent flips TC Boo, I have a way to deal with it. And Nightmare Phoenix is also a link 2, so I can get the draw of the wolf. Well, the draw of the Phoenix because it's linked to the wolf, so maybe, just maybe, that might come out for that. Then we play 2 Raging Phoenix. I have gone back and forwards between 2 and 3. I think 2's fine. 3, if I take something out of my extra deck, probably I would play 3. We don't play the Pyro Phoenix because I think that card sucks, because you have to play bricks in the deck, and it's solid. It already loses to enough hand traps. I don't need it to have a reason to lose to any more. But yeah, its relink effect's actually amazing. Fair enough, for those of you that don't know, because you don't play Salamangreat, if you relink this card using itself, you can just search a salad card. So yeah, that's kind of good. Then we played the one Mirage Stelio. There was a point where I contemplated playing another one, but that was because I went up against a cash player and he went Unicorn Banish this. It just meant that I had to go through longer loopholes to actually get to doing what I wanted to, but I can still live with the Stelio being banished. And then because we were a mad lad, we decided to play the one Violet Chimera. This is based on the old list I used to play. So Chimera actually gets summoned as part of this little combo here with these two. So basically the idea behind the combo is you make the Proxy F to fuse into the Chimera, and the Pit Knight's effect is that when you use the Proxy's effect, you can make one monster your opponent controls attack 0. So then you fusion into Violet Chimera. Violet Chimera gains half the attack of the fusion materials that we used for it, which means that by default it's going to be on 4k. And Violet Chimera's second effect is if it attacks a monster, its attack is different to its original. Its attack doubles for that turn. So you can kill your opponent, basically, off this combo. However, we only did this twice. The only reason we did it one game to basically just flex on our opponent. We could have just done the standard Raging Phoenix thing, except I wanted to summon this to say that I summoned it that day. And then the second time was because I was up against a Wrecker board, and I didn't want to give him another turn. Like, if I gave him another turn, there was a strong possibility that I'd kill him anyways. But we summoned this after going Raging Phoenix, Search, Will of the Salamangreat, Soul Charge for 4, to then make this, which in any other universe, Soul Charging for 4 would be fine, your opponent would be dead anyways. And then finally we play the one Fire Charmer. Don't need any more than one Fire Charmer, it's Fire Charmer. One Promethean Princess because it's Fire deck, and one Splash Mage because it's Cyburst deck. The only thing that I am thinking of changing though is taking these 3 out because they kind of suck. The idea behind it was great in theory, it's bad in practice. So I'll probably have this as a Link Spider, this as a Heat Soul because Heat Soul would have actually come up in one of my games, and then I'm not sure with this one, but I don't know, maybe an SP when I can be bothered to buy one. And then for the side deck, I used some of it, not all of it, but I still think it's fine. We played the one Magnemite, one Drewsworm. Didn't draw them at all, so it doesn't really matter. We played the triple Phantasme. I am poor and I can't be asked investing in more Charmies, so we got these. But it kind of mattered, to be honest, because a lot of the matchups where I would have dropped the more Charmy, we would have drawn the same number of cards of Phantasme anyways, because in the Riker matchup, we didn't draw this, so it did nothing. And then in the Dragon Link matchup, this only drew me 2 anyways, so yeah, it made no difference. The protection though did come up. That was actually quite nice. We played 3 Dark Ruler because we were expecting to go up against Ubel and things where this mattered. The only deck that it kind of mattered against was the Riker matchup where we went Dark Ruler and then Lightning Stormed my opponent, so that was great. So then, yeah, we play the Harpies and the double Lightning Storm. I probably shouldn't be playing these. I'm probably playing cross-outs. However, I do kind of like this because it just blows out the back row, and then the solid stuff can just eat up your opponent's board bit by bit, so it does do stuff, I guess. One Call by the Grave, this probably shouldn't be there. And then the triple dimensional barrier. We played this because we thought we were going to go up against Tenpai and a lot of decks where this would matter. There wasn't a single time I wanted to actually side this in because in the Dragon Link board I had that many hand traps, it didn't matter. We didn't go up against Tenpai a single time. Vanquish Soul, their monsters are all links, and in the Wrecker matchup I can declare Fusion and it does nothing, I guess. But yeah, I am happy with this deck, except for the minor changes that I do want to play to make the deck a bit more consistent. There isn't really anything that actually comes to mind for me to change the deck. So if you guys have any suggestions, I am all ears, except for the ones that I've already suggested earlier, because as much as the proxy combo is kind of cool, it also does suck. I could have probably just taken out the Pit Knight, because I don't really need the Pit Knight for the combo. I can just go spinny, target my opponent's monster, increase its attack, and then the Violet Chimera kills it anyways. But yeah, I'll be signing out, and hopefully I'll be doing some more videos a bit more sooner now that my camera's working again.